At the end of each therapy session, the speech therapist or other therapist will fill out what they call a face-to-face sheet with the date of therapy, time of therapy, what has been done in therapy, but there's also a section on the form for parent involvement. And in that section, it can be described what the parent has done to be involved in the session, but you can also write out instructions for the parent to continue on with it, therapy ideas, or if needed, you can even put step-to-step instructions for what they should be doing during the week. So it is written down, and the parent is provided with a copy of that form at the end of the therapy session.
So it is a little bit different depending on each parent and depending on each teacher, obviously. With the world of technology today, it does make it easier. Teachers, as you know, don't often have a lot of time at the end of class to write a note on every single child, as it's very time consuming and it takes time away from the teaching of the child. But we still do a little bit of note writing. Emailing has become huge. Parents and teachers and therapists will email back and forth frequently. And text messaging has been big because it's right there at your fingertips. The parents can always get you. You can always get them at different times. So that's been very, very helpful. We also, as therapists, we document after each session what we were working on, what the percentage correct was, what their achievements were for the day. And then we use those each 9 weeks. A parent is supplied with a progress note. And those progress notes, then the parent can see what the activities were. We put what we call a data point in every 2 weeks or twice a month, so that they can see the different activities we've worked on, the progress towards those activities, and what their child, where their child is on meeting the goal that we wrote together on the IEP.
There's a couple ways to communicate with parents because obviously they're not going to be with them in preschool. So their teacher becomes that person that you're doing a lot of communication with and getting the follow-through with the therapy ideas and activities. I send home what I call portfolio things. So if I'm working on cutting, I will send home what they've cut and with a little note on it. The teacher also will indicate a little note in a notebook that goes back and forth. I keep my own what I call data, my note. I don't write longhand. I use a spreadsheet thing for me. And then, so we also send home progress notes depending on what school they're in, as often as the general ed students get it. So it could be as frequent as every 6 weeks.
Well, for instance, if we're working on feeding and a child is having difficulty moving from pureed baby food to soft table foods or other kinds of table foods, the parent may have questions about what would be a safe thing for us to practice with this week, or what's a way that I could present the food that they'd be less likely to gag or choke, that kind of thing. So there's lots of dialogue throughout the therapy experience, I would say, with the infants and toddlers.